What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And James is back on the pod, as promised.
Woo, third time in a row.
Oh, indeed, third episode in a row. We sort of had a situation where we went on vacation.
It's funny because John was like, hey, you haven't been on the podcast in a while. Are you going to soon? Here you go.
This
3 times
for
in
you,
a row.
John. This episode is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just kind of happens when you go on vacation and then you kind of like need some help.
And you don't plan anything and you ask the person who lives in your house if they'll be on your podcast
sort of
again.
Seems like a personal attack. Our cats are being really distracting.
Our cats are actually being really distracting.
Which is sort of rude. Don't they know that we're recording a podcast?
I don't know if they do.
Well, someone should tell them.
So, yeah, you didn't tell them?
Anyway, I brushed my teeth before this podcast, so that's kind of a cool thing that I did.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Announcing it.
Yeah.
That's really sick. I didn't, so that's also cool in a different way, maybe.
Is it?
No.
I make that part of the routine.
Yeah.
As someone who recently discovered that they need to get into teeth whitening, that's me. So if you have any tips, tricks, or recommendations, I keep seeing the oh, what's that stuff called?
Oh, hydrogen peroxide.
Yes.
Yeah. You've been bringing that up.
So I kind of want to give that one a whirl.
Hell yeah.
Low cost, low budget option.
Grab it at the Walgreens.
We do have the Walgreens.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll pick some up today.
There we go.
We're going to dinner tonight, so I got changed before this episode. Do I look nice?
You do look nice.
Thank you.
I haven't changed yet, so.
Yeah, you don't look very nice.
And we don't have much time.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a quick episode, unfortunately.
We can sort of do that. Anyway, how are you? It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's really good to see you. I'm super good.
That's awesome.
How are you doing?
Honestly, I had a shit Monday. Going back to work sucks.
Oh yeah, that's always a bad time.
It wasn't even that bad of a day, but it's just kind of the idea of it. Sort of love being on vacation.
Return to reality vibe is not fun.
Wouldn't recommend.
No, stay out of reality.
Keep it at bay.
Yeah.
We went to London.
Mm-hmm.
We had a fantastic time. What I did to prepare for this podcast was I wrote all of the highlights of the trip and all of the downsides.
Okay. It'll just be one long rose and a thorn.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Would love to get all your takes, though, obviously.
Yeah. Hit me with it. I'm sure Airbnb was top of the list.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, don't get me wrong, we had so much fun on this trip. It was awesome. It wouldn't be the Pessimistic at Best podcast. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was rude.
Yeah. Hey guys, we didn't tell you, but we're recording a podcast.
For those of you who are not watching the video episode, my cat just body slammed into the laptop that we're recording on.
They're going at it.
Something.
What is up, cats?
You kind of picked an awful time to get the zoomies, no offense.
They're staring each other down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like,
oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is really getting intense.
That was a lot.
Oh, okay. I would like this to be about me again.
Yeah. Back to Samantha.
Yeah. So that's
not
crazy.
Really a joke.
Literally not at all. It's as if this is their podcast. Anyway, as I was saying, this wouldn't be the Pessimistic at Best podcast if all I talked about were the good things.
So true.
And unfortunately, the lists are actually somewhat even. But
why is that because
just in terms of like that's kind of how pros and cons list works. But at but at the root of it, like if you actually think about the good things, they obviously outweigh all of the bad ones.
Okay. How granular did you get, or is it?
So I don't know how to answer that question.
Okay, well we can just jump into it.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm curious to see what you think about these. I think I'm going to kind of bop back and forth. We'll do some bopping around.
I love bopping.
I had a semi-successful tweet, which for me means upwards of 2 likes.
Oh man, this is doing numbers.
Yeah, I sort of going viral. I did have a tweet that sort of popped off where I said vacation Vacation is really just about bopping around for drinks and snacks.
Oh, so true.
And that's so true. You know,
Yeah.
like that's kind of the whole point.
How many likes did you get?
5.
5.
So
Whoa.
kind of crazy. Yeah.
Elon Musk, watch out.
Truly.
Taking over your website.
Yeah, honestly. I'm surprised no one paid me for that one.
Yeah.
I did put that content out for free.
No new subscribers or anything from that one? Because you can
Not
subscribe
quite.
on Twitter now, so that's fun.
Not quite. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'm sure my moment is coming.
Yeah.
But people seem to resonate with that sentiment,
Yeah, totally.
which was nice.
Well, yeah.
And I stand by what I said.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of all we did for 8 days.
Yeah, that's
Just
all you did
bop
in
around for drinks
your
and
Lisbon
snacks.
trip.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my ideal form of vacationing.
Hell yeah. What's up, Siren?
Yeah, sort of a lot of distractions today, but don't
Yeah.
remember to focus on me, everybody.
Focus on the sound of
If
her
you could,
voice.
yeah.
Do not think about the siren in the back.
Anyways, okay. Well, to start the trip off, horrible sinus infection.
Oh, yeah.
Just as I predicted and was nervous about, all of that came true, sort of, essentially.
Yeah, just for you. So I kind of dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't get sick at all that whole 2 weeks.
Yeah, same.
I mean, you're just kind of dipping in and out of it. You weren't really fully sick, but I never
Well,
caught anything.
I felt pretty sick prior to leaving.
Okay.
Like, kind of a lot.
Sure, I meant leading up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
So,
and I just I really always get nervous about that kind of a cold prior to flying because
Totally.
obviously bad things can happen when you ascend and then descend.
it can get really painful.
Oh my God, it hurts
Yeah.
so bad. And so on the way up, it was only the first flight that it really fucked with me. It's because I didn't blow my nose. I sort of have a complicated relationship with blowing my nose. I hate I hate doing it. I hate the act of it. I find it very embarrassing. It's something that I think you need to do in private. It's something that I have to kind of build myself up for. And it's also just half the time it's not even very useful. But in a situation like this where I have a genuine sinus infection, I want to blow my nose. Otherwise, if it's if I have a booger, I'm not. I would just rather pick that. I think.
Yeah. Just
I don't know.
go to the bathroom, pick it.
Yeah,
Wash
just
your
kind of
hands,
take
move on
care
with
of
your day.
business.
Yeah.
I use a Kleenex. I'm not a savage person.
Okay.
But I don't the act of blowing my nose in that situation. It just doesn't seem appropriate.
Yeah, no, it's kind of put a strain on our relationship lately.
I think to do the sinus infection.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, anyways, I didn't properly blow my nose pre-flight, and then it was our connecting flight, and from Chicago to Charlotte.
Yeah.
So not super long, 2 hours, but James and I were not sitting by each other, and I'm sitting next to this woman. Well, I'm sitting in between these two very nice ladies.
Okay.
But I didn't want anyone to think that I was sick because I didn't have a mask, so I'm trying very hard not to sound sick.
Totally.
Which is probably, honestly, cancel me. You know,
Yeah.
I should have probably been wearing a mask.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and
It's messed
cancel you
up,
for
but
that
I didn't
one.
have COVID. I tested.
Yes.
And so that was sort of something that sucked. And then it got really bad on the plane, and I had to kind of tip my head to one side the whole flight so that I could breathe because
my
it was
God.
literally clogging my entire nose.
Yeah.
And I could feel it building all up in my head, which I knew was probably going to be bad. And then it was, turns out, literally on the way down, it was that classic thing where it hurts so fucking bad because it's expanding or whatever's happening.
That's my least favorite pain.
Oh my God,
Anything
it
in
hurts
the
so bad.
ears,
And you
in your
can't do anything
ears,
about it.
So bad, yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You can't reach in there and,
And it lingers afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was some solidarity, though. There was around a 4-year-old child who was experiencing the same thing
Yes.
in the seat behind me who kept saying to their mom, "Ow, mommy, it hurts so bad. My ear hurts. And she was like, "I know, baby." And I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah. You're just listening to her console the child
Yeah.
That's my mom right now.
Literally.
Yeah.
So we were sort of in that together.
That's really sweet.
Which was nice. But yeah, that hurt really bad. But then actually on our layover, we pretty much got off the plane. The first thing I needed to, of course, accomplish was blowing my nose.
Yep.
And I could feel it all moving around in here,
Ooh, nice.
And so then I actually did go to blow my nose, and I used so much tissues. I don't know if I've ever had that much stuff come out of my nose in my whole life.
Awesome visual. Cool.
Yeah. So sorry, TMI probably, but it felt awesome. It felt so awesome.
Nice.
Like, unbelievably.
The relief was real.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
And then actually on the next flight, we kind of got on and I blew my nose a bunch before that. And
Yeah.
that was kind of the end of it.
You had like a little bit of a cold throughout the week, but it didn't seem debilitating. So that's nice.
It didn't get off necessarily on the right foot, but that's all right. However, we got on our second flight and the absolute craziest thing in the whole wide world happened. And I think this was probably the highlight of my entire trip. This just absolute kismet of the whole thing. So we're on our flight. Our original connecting flight was supposed to be out of New York too.
Yeah.
We were supposed to fly from Chicago to, I think, JFK.
It changed several times, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it got scooted way up. And then we ended up flying from Chicago to Charlotte to London. So what are the fucking odds that I see a girl who looks oddly familiar to me, and she was wearing her little baseball cap, and I was like, I know that baseball cap. And I kind of like watched her squeeze into her seat, but she had her hat on and I couldn't quite tell if it was her, but it looked just like my wonderful friend Abby McKinnon, who has been on this podcast, friend of the pod, that I literally met in London during study abroad in 2017 and haven't seen in probably like 2 years, because the last time we all did like a study abroad meetup was in Austin, Texas, which was a while ago now.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling that it was her, but then I was like, there's no fucking way. That would be absolutely insane. Kind of kept it to myself for 2 seconds, and I was like trying to like peer over there and see if I could just, I don't know, get a better glimpse.
Yeah, just one row ahead of us.
Yeah.
Crazy.
To confirm. And I couldn't quite see her. Like she was like off to the side. And then I said something to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think that might be my friend Abby. Like, that's crazy. And I mean, you were like, you have to go and say something.
At least go and check.
Yeah, confirm your suspicions. But then I, as someone who hates approaching strangers, I was like, if I stand up and stare at this woman and it is not my friend, like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. I like how you thought the only option was to stare at her. Like, you couldn't just like walk up a little bit, turn around and be like, oh.
Well, even a sly glance is sort of
it can be awkward.
A stare.
I'll give that to you. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so I did it. Put my big girl pants on.
That's right. Stood up, walked 1 foot.
And there she fucking was.
Let's
it was
go.
literally Abby. And I just looked at her and I was like, Abby? And she was like, what the fuck? What are you doing here? I was like, I'm going to London. Which, duh, everyone on this flight is. It was just literally so crazy. And she was like sitting by this friendly little couple. And then she was like, do you have a seat by you? And at first I said no, because I didn't have one right next to me. But then I looked and you had one next to you.
And we scooted over. Just so many odds.
It was just so crazy.
Yeah.
And she was there for the whole week. Just for funsies.
Yeah. And the fact you guys hadn't talked about it either.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, at all.
Like you'll keep in keep in touch, I thought.
Yeah.
But I guess didn't let any of your girls know you were
I know. I didn't.
No.
So it was so crazy. And then she came and sat by us. And honestly, that was awesome because it took about, I mean, we chatted for like the first 4 hours of the flight. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, it was just 1 in a billion chance. Like insane.
And you guys had never met.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Because
now
like
we're best
both
friends.
of you
so
have
it's all good.
respectively heard lots of stories about each other.
Yeah, totally. That's
so
funny.
it was so fun. So that was like incredible. Definitely the highlight. We hung out several times throughout the stay, but just to like, what are the fucking odds? I mean, that's crazy. And like, she could have been there. I mean, I probably would have noticed if I saw her stories or something, but
yeah. If you had been on a different flight,
like
no.
who knows if I would have even noticed soon enough. Oh, now my cat came to sit by us. Oh, what fucking attention whore.
He wants to be in the shot.
Yes, desperately. So that was kind of the most incredible piece of the whole puzzle.
No, it felt like a miracle.
Truly.
Yeah.
Absolute fate. And I don't know if I believe in that stuff, but in this moment, I absolutely did. I mean, it was just too crazy. But as James mentioned, we did have a complete shit Airbnb.
Back to the cons.
Yeah. We got there. It was like, I mean, obviously long travel. And because we got in early, we couldn't check into our Airbnb right away, which is, sort of usual. I mean, it's a house, not like a hotel where you can drop your shit off. So we got to hang out with Abby and our friend Lexi for a little while. Lexi lives in London currently. So she was nice enough to host us while we had to kind of like stake it out.
Nice little pit stop.
Which was perfect. And we grabbed lunch and everything. It was just great.
Worked out really well.
And then we went to go check in our Airbnb, and like our Airbnb was on Brick Lane, which is sort of a toss up. I mean, it's definitely, East London is just grungier in general. It used to be considered like quote unquote not safe, really. And I lived over there when I studied abroad, and like I think it's come a long way in a lot of ways. Also, some of them probably not being great.
It felt the same though, overall vibes wise.
I would say
not
yes.
too different, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like we stayed on Brick Lane, which would I recommend doing that again? Probably not.
Parts of it were pretty fun.
But even then, it was like, that's not the place that you want to have your place that you go home at night. Like it was loud.
It was loud, yeah.
The apartment itself, very cute in the photos, not the cleanest.
No. It was pretty cute in the photos.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Very is selling it maybe a little too high.
Well, and that's why we only pick very cute photos from now on. Well, and okay, the Airbnb itself, it had potential.
Yeah, I
was
guess that's what I'm saying.
It like wasn't amazing. The kitchen was gross, but then we got there was like dead plants and flowers all over the place.
And I think it was like an aesthetic choice. Like they were trying to do something with it.
I don't.
I think
that was a horrible mistake.
I mean, it was. I think it was on purpose.
It gave me bad omen vibes. I don't think it was on purpose.
I mean, there was no...
That dead-ass plant in the bathroom was trying really hard to be alive.
But I feel like the flowers. Like, what kind of Airbnb host leaves like 3 dead pots full of flowers? Just dead.
This one, Tom.
Tom.
So yeah, we sort of have beef with Tom, our host.
The worst part was getting in and the fucking stairs, and I had to bring up your 50-pound fucking suitcase, and it was just the tiniest little windy stairs.
The whole time I could imagine how someone would get furniture up this fucking place.
Yeah, no, it was insane. That started it off kind of poorly.
Well, to be honest, even prior to that, the whole system for getting our keys for this Airbnb was weird. We had to go to this place called Nisa Local, which is basically a corner store.
Yeah, just some shitty
I mean, it has
little
nothing
shop
in it besides like you can buy chargers and a shit phone case and a couple like off-brand snacks.
Yeah. So many off-brand snacks in London in general.
I don't really even know how that's legal, but yeah, they have a lot of that going on over there.
The Cheetos we got.
They were like nacho cheese Cheetos. They were disgusting.
It tasted like if you took the mac and cheese, like Kraft mac and cheese powder and just dumped it on some bland puffs. It was so funny.
It's disgusting. Did eat 2 bags, but that's sort of nobody's business. But we basically had to go to this place, give them this weird code, and then the man didn't say one single word. He just stared at us, brought out this random lockbox full of keys, punched the code in, handed us the key, and then we had to walk like 3 blocks to get back to the Airbnb.
It was so weird.
It was so weird. Also, I think that's all like underhand, like not...
Right.
Who is this?
Yeah. Why are you trusting them with keys to your house?
Please tell me.
Because nobody's like double checking to make sure they put them in the box or anything.
No, he didn't even ask my name. I mean, I guess I have this random code. I don't know. The whole thing's so fucking weird. It was so weird.
Yeah. So weird vibes before we even got in the building.
Yeah.
We were like, what's up?
And then it kind of just got worse. And we got into the Airbnb, and of course, James is exhausted. I mean, he's cracking me up right now.
Yeah. What's up, Sam?
And we got into the Airbnb, and James like immediately goes to sleep. So then I have 2 hours to myself to do a lot of worrying, sort of left unattended, left to worry.
Letting the bad vibes just ruminate.
So then I kind of like looked at all the dead plants, tried to turn up the AC, or I'm sorry, the heat. And that's when the real problems started to kick in because the heat was not working, which we didn't really kind of pick up on that for a few days.
Yeah, because it would change and it would say like in 2 hours, like most things do that. They let you know it's not going to change immediately, obviously.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay. But we were like, man, it's really cold in here.
And it's kind of stayed that way. Well, and our Airbnb host, Tom, the infamous Tom,
The infamous.
sort of had this strange vibe where he had some really nice things. Like he had one of those Nest thermostats.
Yeah.
He had all these fucking weird ass dimmers for every single light in the whole apartment.
They each had their own light switch that was like fucking plastered to the wall.
And you could like pick the kind of lighting you wanted. If you wanted like white lighting, yellow,
dim
how
'em.
bright.
But then there was like cabinet doors missing in the kitchen.
And like the shower curtain was the dirtiest.
It was really
so
dirty.
dirty.
Mm-hmm.
That's disgusting.
Every
the
time
toilet didn't really flush.
Oh yeah, you had to and he had a separate flusher that he got for this toilet.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be fancy, but it took like 3 times every time to flush it.
You had to just kind of hope for the best. It was sort of the vibe.
When you turn the sink on, it would like whir up and then just kind of like get higher and higher pitch even after you turned it
stronger.
off. Yeah, it was really weird.
Because like I'd be brushing my teeth and all of a sudden the water's like spilling all over me.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So overall, not the best place. Would not stay again. Have not quite written my review yet, but I don't think I'm going to be that nice. We ended up saying something about the heat.
Yeah, because it was getting pretty bad.
It was, like,
we'd get
pretty
home and
cold.
we were like, what the fuck?
Well, and another con on the list was the weather in general. Much colder than expected.
Yeah, we did not pack correctly.
And then, of course, having a cold Airbnb on top of that kind of fucks
It's
you
cold
up.
and rainy, yeah. We did get a little fucked that way.
So we ended up saying something to Tom. Of course, he's like, try turning on and off the Nest. Duh, Tom. Obviously.
Thanks for the help.
And then there were all these radiators all over the place. And he's like, well, can you make sure all the valves are on? Which, first of all, who would turn these fucking valves off? I don't know. We tried that. Nothing worked. And then he ends up asking if he can bring a contractor out. And the question was if he could do that with, if we have permission to just have the contractor come in with his own key or if we wanted to be home, which obviously neither of those options are great. I kind of just wish this was fixed somehow.
Yeah.
Why don't you come, Tom? It's your house.
Is it? Who is Tom?
Who the fuck is Tom?
Is Tom an entity?
Well, and Tom kept giving me, he would text me via the app over Airbnb Messenger or whatever. He'd be like, this is an automated message. No, it isn't. You copy and pasted this. That's not what automated means.
Yeah.
That's not
you can't
possible.
do that.
So, yeah, we don't trust Tom.
No.
Tom is not to be trusted.
Overall, weird spot.
But yeah, the weather did kind of fuck us up. We basically made the worst packing choices. I also forgot a pivotal piece of my wardrobe, which is my black turtleneck.
Very central to almost all your outfits.
Which kind of pretty much completes every outfit I wear.
So you like hung up a bunch of dresses and dusters and they just didn't get used.
I wore 30% of what I brought.
Yeah, we wore the same outfits like every day.
Yeah, it was awful. I hate doing that. And my outfit that I wore every day was really just meant to be my airplane outfit. Like,
yeah,
this was not meant to be seen.
It's like a really cool fancy coat on top of like a black hoodie. It was a weird vibe.
I just didn't
but you
like
looked
it.
good. You looked good.
See, okay. Why didn't you You didn't tell me that I looked dumb?
You didn't look dumb. No, it was just a funny like mismatch.
Ugh, it's hard to be me.
You can see it in all our stories and posts.
Every single post.
You can see mine too. It's just a hoodie and a jean jacket.
So yeah, that was a bit of a bummer. We also had an atrocious time adjusting to the time difference.
Yeah, we did not do well with that.
I blame you.
Of course you do. You blame me for everything.
James wanted to take all these naps.
I took my own the first day, but besides that, we took naps together. So you can fuck off with that.
You're a bad
one.
person.
Oh my God.
But the good news is, as much as that sucked, we kind of like, with this style of vacation where you don't really have plans, you can sleep in and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, we slept in pretty well.
Kind of like a lot.
And I feel like I'm already back into Chicago time zone.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. Like I feel set.
Same.
So,
So whatever.
You win some, you lose some.
But other than that, highlights of the trip, the very first day, the very first thing that we did, we hit every single market. My one market per day quota.
Yeah.
Truly, every single one that I wanted to go to, we went to, which is great.
Yeah, those are all awesome.
And at the very first market, a wonderful woman complimented my hair. Sort of love when people do that. She actually complimented yours as well. It's more of an us thing.
You guys have cool hairstyles. Want to come in and get your hair cut at our studio?
She wanted us to be like models for her salon.
They're like, college or not college. What are those called?
I think she was already a stylist, but I think it was a class.
Okay.
For like a cool haircut.
Yeah, that'll keep you going for a few days.
Mm-hmm. So that'll sort of rev me up.
Yeah, that was at the flower market. That one was really cool.
Yeah, the Columbia Road Flower Market. Highly recommend if anyone has plans to go to London. It's like just a bunch of flowers basically and plants. Mm-hmm. But the vibes are just right.
Yeah, got some good pastries.
Like we didn't even buy flowers, although we could have spruced up our Airbnb for Tom's sake. That would be honestly too kind.
That would be.
Yeah, we don't owe anything to Tom. He might owe us. Sort of like a refund. We did also go and see my old dorm and my old stomping grounds, which is very nostalgic for me. My area has changed a lot. I mean, it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was also the same. It was just fun.
It was good.
It was good to see.
Yeah, it's a cool area.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot to do over there. Took James on the canals.
Yeah,
that was sick. Is awesome.
That was a highlight for sure.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
It's very cool. And it goes on for a long time. That's where I used to run. I trained for a half marathon while I was in London.
Yeah, so much like sick graffiti and street art around there.
Yeah.
All along the canal tunnels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All the cool boats.
Yeah.
Really cool, just general architecture.
It's awesome. There's a lot of houseboat type things on there.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I don't really know how you could live on those, but...
And we got lucky with the weather that day specifically, too. Mm-hmm. So that made the walk really nice.
Well, and that day, and another con, which this one is a personal, something to work on for next time.
This is a bud.
This is my bud. Sensible shoes.
Oh, yeah.
That
was that day?
Wore heels that day.
Yeah, and we knew we were walking like a lot.
And I think we walked like 4 miles.
And you kept saying it. That's my qualm with you. I'm sorry. But you'll like say it for like 5-10 minutes as we're leaving the house, and then you'll just keep saying it. We'll be like 2 blocks away. You'll be like, "Oh, should I go back?" No, you don't even say that. Should I go back? I say that. You're like, "Oh, man, am I gonna regret this?" That's how you always phrase it. Am I gonna regret this? And I'm like, "Yeah, probably. Can we go back?" So you don't complain the whole time, and then you just get grumpy like 30 minutes later. So
I think I waited a while to get grumpy. I think I did.
Okay, yeah, an hour and a half maybe.
Yeah. So we were really far from home.
So nice of you.
Well, it's so hard because for me, fashion trumps everything, and I also cannot figure out. I think the problem is I can't figure out how to be comfortable and stylish at the same time.
Well, sometimes you just got to pick what you're doing that day and go off of that.
See, but like I don't know. I want to get into like hot girl sneakers, but my struggle is I have short hair, and for some reason those two things just don't balance out for me. Like I feel like such a boy if I have like sneakers on.
Yeah. And
I didn't used to, and it's so funny when I mean truly when I used to have long hair, like I would dress a lot more androgynous or wear a lot more men's clothes. But ever since I cut my hair off, I've totally leaned into like my feminine outfits and heels and whatever.
Yeah.
And like I'm not talking heels like I walk around in stilettos, but I love a heeled boot. Mm-hmm. An angular shoe.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think you can do it.
Don't know.
I think you can find the right sneakers for you.
See, but I asked you if I would look good in the Nikes, and you roasted me. So.
Something about, I don't know, high top sneakers are interesting on anybody to me, honestly. Like, it depends on the outfit. I don't know.
But I don't want like those big chunky fucking ones where I...
Yeah. No,
that's
for
what
sure.
my problem is.
I think you
sneakers.
can find the right ones. That's what I'm saying.
It's so hard to be me.
Wow, yeah, it's really, really hard.
It is.
But yeah, you picked a really good day to wear the wrong boots.
My feet hurt so bad.
You're like, we could go here. I think it was going to be like 5 miles total. And you're like, can I do it? I was like, no.
I did. Basically.
We took the train halfway.
That wasn't halfway. We were almost there.
Okay. I can't remember for sure, but I feel like we had a while to go.
Whatever.
Oh.
You're being rude.
I'm not trying to call you out. Sorry. She did really good.
It's not even about that.
Yeah.
I just... something to work on.
Yeah, there you go.
It's my bud.
Mm-hmm.
We also met James's coworker Igor, so we actually have a lot of friends in London. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, a lot of
Sort of
people
cool for
to
us.
run into and hang out with. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Not to like totally dox him. Here I am saying his name on the pod.
Yeah.
I kept thinking it was Eeyore, if you are all familiar with the grumpy donkey. Maybe grumpy is the wrong word. He's just sort of like depressed.
Yeah. No, Grumpy's
A little
accurate.
sullen.
For sure. Yeah. Nothing like that character, though.
No,
it was a
very
pleasure
happy,
to meet him.
pleasant person. It was so funny, too, because James had only seen we had only seen one photo of him ever.
Yeah.
And James and his coworkers are on voice chat all day, but they don't really do like video. No
Yeah.
Zoom, no.
No.
Well, you guys use Discord.
Yeah. No, we never
Gamers.
do video. It's weird.
And so you've never actually laid eyes on this person.
Yeah. I've seen like one picture on our team about section on our website, and I was going off of that.
And men are so funny because like he's just walking into the situation totally fine with that. If that had been me, I would have been social media stalking this person, even Googling. I'd be trying to find anything out about them, find other photos, like make note of the kind of outfits they typically wear.
Yeah.
I would be trying to find anything.
I did try to a little bit just on Instagram and like Facebook, and I couldn't find him. So I just kind of gave up. I don't know if I checked LinkedIn, but I think it might have just been the same photo. That's the one on our website. But, spotted him eventually. We got it.
That headshot had to be from years ago because he had like longer hair in the photo. I definitely didn't think he was as tall as he was. I thought he was much older.
Yeah, he did look older in the photo.
And then this guy comes walking in the bar. We were still standing there. We had made a reservation or whatever, so we were waiting to be sat. And this guy comes walking in, and then the three of us are standing in the entrance in a line.
Looking the same way.
All looking around.
He's literally right next to us.
And then James kind of just turns to him and goes, Igor? Oh my God.
He had that look in his eye where he was looking for somebody.
Yeah.
He didn't know where he was supposed to go. So that's what tipped me off more than his looks because, he looked nothing like it.
I literally would not have picked that person out of the crowd to be the guy in the photo. I mean, there's just no way.
And this happened to me with meeting some of the Chicago people too, where they have their picture on Discord as a certain thing, or I've seen only one photo of them and I get this image in my head along with their voice, like on voice chat. And even after meeting them, it's like two different people. And that happened today on Discord. Was my first time talking to Igor again.
Oh, you guys had a chat?
Well, just, work chat.
Mm-hmm.
And
work chat.
Yeah, work chat. But still, I can't picture the person I met speaking. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird phenomenon. Like, it's still a different person. Like,
You should get that checked out.
I met this human, like, physical version, and then there's like this disembodied head that's speaking to me on Discord. So I do need to get that checked out.
Yeah, I think you should speak to someone professionally. I guess I kind of understand what you mean. I haven't really been in that many situations like that though, because we go on camera and stuff. Like,
yeah, I'm sure that makes it way different.
Yeah,
we can't actually because we have there's like a set number of video participants in a voice chat or something. So we like have too many people in our team to do it.
Excuses.
Yeah. No, it's weird. It's a weird thing.
Well, and he was very fun. He was our age.
Yeah. Thought he was going to be like 35.
It was awesome.
26.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
New bestie, new work bestie for
Got
James.
some good pizza. Hell yeah.
And you're just as bad. I mean, your headshot is from like college.
Oh my God. It's from like 2017.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
No mustache. No nose ring.
It's outside my old job.
But that was a success.
Yeah,
it was,
It's always a toss-up.
Yeah. A couple other highlights were Piano Works.
Yeah,
that was another night that we met up with Abby. And Piano Works was this bar that we used to go to a lot and study abroad. And it's basically this like crazy piano bar where it's honestly like it is a piano bar, but it's with a full band.
Yeah, it's really unique. I've never heard of anything like it.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun.
And they take requests and whatever. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's probably like chuggy as fuck, but it was so fun.
Yeah.
And they still go, so.
It was sick. I mean, literally played like every genre they were playing.
And they're very talented.
Oh my God. The skill you need to have to do that is really, really, it was really impressive. Just every song they had, they nailed.
And they could like do funny little renditions of it or like switch the vibe up a little, but it was still so good and so fun.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And just to be back in that place too with like Abby McKinnon. I mean, I literally felt like 2017. It was crazy.
Yeah, little time portal.
It was so crazy. Like the odds of that ever happening in my life. I haven't done shots in a while either at a bar, and that was like fun.
They were pouring some weak ass doubles.
Oh my God, they pour the drinks like shit over there, and they're so expensive.
And we got there like a little after the other people, so we wanted to catch up, and we were just like, this is not working.
So shots it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, doubles, and you can't even taste it.
No.
I mean, what the fuck is going on?
When you taste a double and it's tasty, that's when you know they fucked up. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Not gonna work.
No. So that was sort of hilarious. But that was really the only time that we like went out.
Yeah, it kind of was.
So it was fun.
We kept it tame.
We are 26.
Exactly.
Another one was feeling educated at the Tate Modern, sort of love going to an art museum. I just felt, I haven't done that in a while. There's something very, you feel like an adult at a museum.
Yeah, it was fun to go there. Not as much stuff as I expected. Kind of just like a few small little gallery things, but it was a cool setup and
especially for
a lot of fun.
What you can do. I mean, it's literally for free.
I feel like the building is really big and there's like two parts to it, but the actual sections that are for museum stuff were pretty small. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's free, so it's crazy.
There are large galleries that you can pay for.
Yeah.
I went to like one paid exhibit there and there's definitely more to see. But yeah, a lot of the museums in London are free, which is honestly fucking awesome.
They had some really big names too. It was kind of sick.
So that was pretty cool. Sort of love that feeling. Also wore non-sensible shoes that day. So I have some lessons to learn. Also successfully hailing the bus sort of made me feel like a local again.
Oh yeah, the bus is nice.
The bus, you like basically have to stand out there and flag them down like a taxi. And it was so funny because we hadn't really had to take the bus yet. And I think it was actually when we were leaving Piano Works. So we were several days into the trip. The bus just kind of like drove right past because I hadn't been paying enough attention. And James was like, why didn't they stop? And I was like, oh, you have to wave the bus down. And then the next one came and he was like, wow, it's like you're local or something.
Yeah, king, queen.
So sort of giving myself a pat on the back for that. Feels great. Get right back into it. Also, the Bao Buns and 40 Maltby Street.
Yeah. So good.
Those are two meals that changed my life.
Yeah, the last 2 days we got really lucky. Kind of hadn't even heard of them from people. You just found them online.
Yeah.
So fucking good. Bao in Borough Market.
Yeah.
And then 40 Maltby.
Right off of Maltby Street.
Oh my God. Yeah, life-changing.
Life-changing meals. I mean, just incredible. We also had a Joseph Quinn sighting.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
At 40 Maltby, so...
This guy walks in, I'm like, hey, is that guy from Stranger Things, Joseph Quinn? And Samantha looked over and he had just walked out.
Yeah.
But then he came back in and he checked in with the waitress again. And then we talked to the waitress and she was like, yeah, I asked what his name was. And there he was like, Joe. And she was like, oh, we have a few Joes on the list. What's your last name? And he's like, Quinn. And she was like, so that verified it. But it sounded like I was trying to like egg him out.
Literally like get him to say his last name so you can out him. Well, didn't she make that joke like, yeah, I couldn't tell if this was a famous person or someone that I just went to elementary school with.
Yeah, he was like, he looked familiar, but I didn't know why.
She was so funny.
He also has the benefit of not being really looking like himself in his like most famous character because of the big mullet.
Yeah, the hair.
On Eddie, yeah.
It was totally him though.
It was, yeah.
And then he tried to order a G&T and they don't do that there.
Yeah, he literally left. He was like, can I get a G&T while I wait? And they're like, oh no.
It was just like beer and wine and stuff.
Yeah. Did they really not do any cocktails? It's kind of weird.
I mean, it's a very small place. Such good food.
Super
that
good.
Quiche. And I'll be thinking about those bao buns for the rest of my life. I can't wait to have those again. Oh my God. Incredible.
Yeah, we'll be back one day.
So yeah, that was sort of the recap of the trip. Anything else crazy?
Crazy stuff in London. I mean, did we talk about the Slowpoke concert already? That was really fun.
No, I literally didn't even put that on my list. I'm a terrible person.
You just made this right before, so.
We did go to Slowpoke concert, as you all know, which was sort of the whole point of this trip.
Yeah, pretty much was. Yeah, that was super fun, and they nailed it.
It was so fun. It was a very cool venue. We got dinner there before, which was also fun. The space is just very cool. It's like this. I've never really been in a concert like that where, I don't know, it's like an arena, but not.
Yeah, it was
like
almost
a mini arena.
Yeah, it was like somewhere in between
old and gorgeous,
the Majestic and an arena.
Yeah, So it was very cool, just the way that it was set up. And then we were supposed to be at the very tippy top, standing room only, like whatever. And we get up to the doors because we were getting there early, obviously, because we know the opener. And these wonderful British gentlemen were like, would you like to get upgraded? And of course, the whole point of being upgraded is that you're going to get a better seat. And James has the audacity to ask, well, are they better seats?
He didn't say the word upgraded. He's like, do you want box seats? And my first thought, I asked that because there are a lot of nice, quote unquote, seats that are like a really shitty angle. Like, yeah, you might be solo, but you're not going to have a good angle for the action.
Okay, fair.
So that's why.
Well, in this stadium, I think you would have a good angle anywhere because they're like middle.
Yeah, but there's a lot of places where there's like obstructed view seating and stuff like that. So that's what I was trying to avoid. Trying to get money.
Well, James is over here asking dumb questions.
Oh my God.
But the guys were like, yeah, way better seats. We were like, awesome. And they were incredible seats.
They were amazing seats.
Like,
and we were
perfect.
looking up at where we would have stood so far away.
Oh, we wouldn't have seen anything.
Shitty seats.
Yeah. So, and Alex, if you're listening, which you're probably not, but if you happen to be, we saw your dad.
Yeah. Spotted
Plucked
him out of the crowd.
Yeah. It was so fun. It was just awesome. The concert was amazing. Death Cab for Cutie killed it as well.
Yeah.
Haven't really listened to their music in forever, but they still played the hits. It was so fun. And their crowd was having a blast, which is always a good time.
Yeah, really glad we could see that show.
So that was like literally so much fun. It was awesome. Just sort of crazy to see them on that stage. We did end up having the contractor come. So he did come.
Oh my God.
And he sort of did this crazy thing where he showed up and he was just a plumber.
And he was 10 minutes early. And you were getting out of the shower trying to rush for this time frame that we had.
Well, so Tom had given us the contractor will be there to. Well, first of all, he was supposed to come the day prior.
Yeah.
So we scurried out of our apartment.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to be there when he was coming, and it was supposed to be 12 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then didn't hear from Tom all day. Tom ended up texting me that he's coming the next day, sometime between 11 and 4.
Yeah.
10:50 rolls around, and I'm jumping out of the shower. And then I hear James kind of be like, hello?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fuck, you gotta be kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
So then I knew that he was in our house.
And I don't know why it made me so mad, but I was kind of, I don't know. He got in and I was like, hey, it's earlier than you were supposed to come. And he's like, just by a little bit. And I was like, okay. Still earlier. And then he gets in, he says he's a plumber. I'm like, what does that have to do with
what
heating?
Could you possibly fix?
And then he sits down, he's like, so how long have you lived here? And I'm like, I'm just an Airbnb renter.
Well, he clearly just didn't know anything about what was going on. He didn't even know the issue he was coming to fix.
Yeah, exactly. That's so, I don't know. I'm like, that's like the rudest stuff. I wasn't even rude. Like, I was just kind of like in a pissy mood.
Why are you
I've
here?
never done that. I felt really bad afterwards, but I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, and so then I'm like getting out of the shower, but he needs to get into the bathroom to look at like the breaker or wherever the Nest is like plugged in, like its little home base thing.
Kind of hinting at it. I was like, hey, do you need a second? To you in the bathroom. And he's like, do you guys need like 5-10 minutes? I can come back. And I was like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Because I'm naked in the bathroom, which sucks.
And then we wait for 40 minutes. You get out of the shower, you get dressed.
I get ready.
45 minutes. And I'm like, okay, he's probably not coming. Go outside, not even like hanging out.
He's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, so we left, and then he came sometime when we were gone.
Which was literally hilarious. I thought he was not going to come back at all.
Yeah.
I just thought he was like, fuck this, I'm out of here, which would honestly be hilarious.
I would respect it, yeah. But we came back, and the heat was fixed. So.
And the heat was on. And get this, it was our last day.
Yeah.
Literally our last day.
You're like, yay, good.
So we had heat for one night.
Yeah. And then we were like super warm at night because we had been used to the cold.
So that sort of sucked. Would love my money back, but I'm too scared to ask because of the kind of person that I am.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if that really warrants a refund for even like a small amount.
You sort of like deserve heat.
Yeah, I don't know.
In the living establishment that you are staying in.
In the year of our Lord 2023.
Yeah.
I agree.
But that happened, and then we went home. And our travel days, honestly, couldn't ask for better travel days. They were so easy. Shout out to TSA PreCheck.
Yeah, Heathrow was super smooth and everyone was super nice.
Love the Heathrow airport. Everyone is so happy to be there. That never happens. Everyone was not even just like pleasant, but like
nice.
Literally
and,
wonderful.
yeah, smiling. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I've never seen
Almost
that.
it almost felt creepy. I was like,
it's
why are you guys nice?
Right. Is this an alternate universe?
Yeah, exactly.
But that was awesome. So, but yeah, long flight home. James and I didn't get to sit by each other on that flight either. Sad.
Movie time.
Listened to a lot of podcasts. Didn't pee the whole flight. Huge mistake. I sort of have this disease where I hate saying the words "excuse me." And I was sitting next to this like kid and his dad, and I'm the window seat, so I'm like all the way in. And I just, if the kid got up, I told myself I'd get up, but he never got up. So I just kind of stayed put.
Yeah.
Tried to limit my beverage intake.
Okay.
No UTI though, so feeling positive about that.
There you go.
I am so glad that we made that trip. It had been way too long since being back there, so thank you for indulging me.
Of course, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And thank you guys for listening to this trip recap. If you have any questions, you can direct them to James.
What? Why me?
Just kidding.
Yeah, I have nothing to say.
Love you guys so much. Thank you for listening, and I will chat with you all again next week. Bye. Another cathartic convo in the books. I feel better. How about you? Thank you so much for listening. Now I just want to jump on here and say, don't forget to follow and or subscribe to the pod on your favorite streaming platform for new episodes every single week, because I know you can't get enough of me. Additionally, if you want to gain access to exclusive episodes and lots of other goodies, join our Patreon and support the pod with your hard-earned American dollars. You can find the link in our show notes, or you can also visit us at patreon.com/pessimistic@best. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at pessimistic@best. And if you're as obsessed with me as I am with you, you can find me at Sam Georgeson on all platforms. And last but not least, I'd like to give a special shout out to my podcast editor and producer, the love of my life, James Arbai, whom I literally could not do this without. So thank you, James. I love you so much. And thank you guys for joining me again this week. I love you too, and I cannot wait to chat with you again soon.